Let's create some more programs where we compare if two values are equal, or if we compare if three values are equal. So first, import the standard input output, create a function, begin ends, and we define a variable a equals 5 and b equals 4. So how can we compare if a and b are equal? C has a keyword called if. So if, and we want to compare if a and b are equal, then begin ends, right? So if a is equal, so when you check for equality in C, that's the equal signs twice. Then we can output a and b are equal. So let's run this program. And it doesn't show anything because a and b are not equal, right? A is 5 and b is 4. If we change b to 5, you'll see it outputs a and b are equal. So here we go, a and b are equal. And let's do that on a new line. So it outputs a and b are equal, but only if a and b are equal. In this case, both are 5. So if I were to say a is 1, it doesn't output anything. So what happens here is that this line checks if a and b are equal, and then it's have the begin sign just like in a function, and you can write multiple lines there. So you can have another line here. It can be like hundreds of lines. Just it's only executed, this block is only executed if a is equal to b. Now this also works if you have 3 integers. So let's say integer c, and then you can do that again. So you can say you can either do it inside, so if a is equal to c, so you can do this. So now if a, b, and c are equal, so if I say, for example, c is 50, you'll see it won't output anything. Now this starts to look a bit cryptic, right? So what you can do instead is write it on a single line. So we want if a is equal to b and if a is equal to c. So remove all this. And then we want to do end. Now there is no end keyword in C. However, there is this two ampersand signs, which means end. So it's a bit cryptic C language. So double equality is check if a value are equal, and the double ampersand sign check if the first condition and the second condition are both true. So if we run it now and make a and b and c equal, then okay, we need to remove one of the ampersands or one of the end symbols. Let's try that again. Okay, so now it runs the code if a and b, a is equal to b and a is equal to c. In other words, if all values are equal. Now, of course, you can also add another, like if c is equal to b. So that works as well. And of course, the previous thing also works well. So if you were to write those on separate lines, that works as well. So if you say a is equal to b, if a is equal to c, and if b is equal to c. So you can also write it in that fashion. However, then make sure we have the begin symbol several times. So we also need the end symbol several times. So this should work as well. If you run it, you'll see it does. So you can check for equality with the double equal sign. You can also use greater than and smaller than. For example, if we say a is greater than b we can output greater than. And if A is smaller than B, we can output smaller than. So in this case, both are equal, so it doesn't output nothing. But let's say A is 2. And you'll see it outputs smaller than. So A is not greater than B, it skips this. And A is smaller than B, so it does the code within this code block. If I were to increase A, so let's say 7, then it goes into the code and it say, hey, A is greater than B, so it executes this code block. And then it ignores this one because A is not smaller than B, right? A is 7, B is 5. Now, instead of writing it like this, you can say else. So if A is greater than B, and if it's not, do this code. So that's using the else keyword, and the else keyword always has the if keyword before. So else is for all the other cases. If you run it, you'll see it does exactly the same. So greater than, and let me add new lines here. Now we can also check for equality. So if A is equal to A and B, A is not greater than B, so it would output smaller than. So we can say else if, or elif, A is equal to B, equals, and else if, sorry. And you'll see it outputs equals. Now if I make B greater, you'll see smaller than, because A is smaller than B. And if I were to make A greater than B, you'll see greater than as output. So that's using if statements. You can compare values. Now this also works directly on values. So for example, if we don't have variables and say if 5 is greater than 3, output greater than. And if we say 5 is smaller than 3, you'll see it doesn't run the code because 5 is not smaller than 3, so it doesn't execute this code block. So programs are always executed top down, and the code is executed with an if only if whatever is written between the braces is true. So if we say 6 is equal to 6, the program is executed top down, so it comes here, 5 is not smaller than 3, so it skips that, skips this code block, 5 is not smaller than 3, and then hey, 6 is equal to 6, so it does this code block. So if you run it, you'll see it outputs that data. Now you can also use this, for example, to check if a number is negative or positive. So if we have a variable x, let's say -10, if x is smaller than 0, x is negative, else if x is greater or equal to 0, then x is positive. So if you run this code, you'll see outputs x is negative, -10. If we were to say x is 10, it will tell x is positive. So you can also easily check if a number is positive or negative.